Erasing all my flaws. What the fuck's a loss? Erasing all my flaws. What the fuck's a loss? Erasing all my flaws. What the fuck's a loss? Bitch, I've been a dog. I gave it to the cause. OD at the name. My gang too raw. We don't fuck with lanes. We got mad sauce. What's good, you guys? It's your boy KT, and I am here with episode 5 of Who is KTGODUMB? Who is the man behind the brand? That's me, KT. Episode 5. So, on this episode, last episode, we talked about, friendship and meeting my tribe and the people who really connected to me and really valued me and showed me, my true worth. So this episode, I'm going back into, I won't call it my brand, but just my dream in general and why I chased my dream. Now this isn't the same as episode 2 where I did Who is KTGODUMB? That's more so the persona, like what I represent. What does KT represent? It touches on that, but this is the bigger picture reasoning of why I chased my dream, and just some of the things I've gone through as an artist, but the things that motivate me to keep going. So every artist, creative, producer, anybody who pursues anything creative, they always eventually ask themselves this question: why should I keep going? Why should I not quit my dream? And for those creatives, it could be multiple things going on in their lives that makes them question that. Whether it's their financial situation, whether it's just a lack of confidence, whether it's just, it could be a lack of skill. Maybe not a lack of skill, I shouldn't say that, but there's multiple factors that could have somebody questioning low numbers, low attendance rates, it's a lot of things. Low sales. So really sometimes we have to ask ourselves, why do we do this stuff? Why do we make music? Why do we sell our products? Why do we do the things we do? Why do we keep grinding for something, even if it seems like it may not come? Well, when I made music, I didn't make music because I wanted to be famous or rich. Well, it would be nice to get paid for what I do. I will admit, if I get paid, that's a blessing. But that's not what I came into this music for. Initially, I was just making music for fun. It was a hobby. It was a hobby to me. And I had fun making music. I had fun freestyling with, my friends at the time. And that was something I wanted to keep doing. When I realized that you could profit off of it, I'm just like, okay, cool. But the main thing I wanted to do was to give off good energy, to set a good vibe. Like with my music especially, I wanted to put out something positive. I didn't want to be another street rapper that was rapping about drugs or fucking girls or just doing people dirty. That's not me. Yeah, I talk about weed here and there, but I don't talk about that stuff in every song. I'm not on that gangster stuff, I'm not gangster unless I have to get gangster. But I prefer not to, because I'd rather deal with things peacefully. So why is it that I don't quit? Because I believe that one day my music will be able to impact somebody's life. I truly believe it. It may not be my song directly. Maybe it'll be I produce for somebody. Maybe I set up an organization or a program, because that's something that's been in my mind heavily for years. I want to be able to give back to my community. And then one of the things I wanted to support a mental health a mental health program. I wanted to be able to support something like that. If I were to blow up and I made money, I would donate to an organization like that. I would donate to a charity. Hell, I would probably volunteer at one. I'm probably going to do that soon, because that's what I care about. I'm somebody who, I've gone through my own mental health. I've gone through my battles, and honestly, what I've been through is why I want to help people, because I know what it's felt like to feel like nobody was there, or to feel like nobody was in your corner. Like I said, I want to be that person where you look at me and you have somebody that supports you and believes in your dream. That's me. That's just what I'm about, So honestly, stuff like that. And I'll admit, oh, hold up a second. My car started acting funny. But it's been plenty of times where I could look at crowd reactions when I perform and get discouraged by that, because not everybody really is receptive of my music. It's not that they're just straight saying I'm trash. I'll be honest, I don't think I've had many people just openly say that my music was trash or anything like that. I gotta turn my car off and turn it back on, y'all. Sorry.
Voltage. Waiting for connection.
Shit.
Bluetooth connection success.
My car's on some bullshit. But I know what it's like. And so I want people that look like me or feel like me to know that there's somebody there. There's somebody that's willing to help you. Not everything has to be hard. Not everything has to be done by yourself. Because honestly, a lot of us out here, we need a team of people around us. We need that team of people to lift us up, to inspire us, to remind us of who we are and what we bring to the table. Because some people, they don't have that. They don't have that support system. So that's what I'm about. Even if I'm just one person. So, like I said, I haven't had the craziest numbers. I'll admit. I'm not going to act like I'm just some super, super big artist. I'm still underground. Fairly underground. Has my stuff on YouTube done numbers? Sure, I've gotten a couple thousand views. One of my beats, the most numbers I got was on a beat from years ago. I got 26K views on it. Maybe, I think 26K is the right number. And I don't know how the fuck I got them numbers. I was just posting my stuff on YouTube and my shit blew up. So, hey, I mean, that's good. That's amazing shit. But I had to learn that numbers aren't everything, and not to focus on numbers. That's what my buddy LJ taught me. And it's really real. You can't focus on numbers, because numbers, they don't always tell the full story of an artist. Or they don't tell the full story. The music does. And I'm here for the music. I'm not here for none of that other stuff. My goal with this music stuff is to be able to provide for my community, to give back to my community. Honestly, I would say, like, if my music could change Cleveland for the better, then we're in a perfect world. We're in the perfect scenario, because, as much as talented as Cleveland is, I just feel like we could be so much further than we are if we all came together, if we would stop hating on each other, gatekeeping, and just being so cliquey. But I don't know, man. It's rough out here. It's rough out here for artists, and that's why a lot of artists leave, And I mean, it's something else that's discouraging too, because it's like, I'm be honest, I want to build in my town. I want to build in my city, but sometimes you got to accept your city might not accept you. They might not accept the type of music you make. They might not agree with what you do. Maybe another state will, maybe another city will. But it's a tough feeling, wanting to be accepted by your hometown and then feeling like, feeling rejected. That feeling of rejection. But I would say, like, a lot of times it's like nobody's called me trash, but people have definitely, like, they came at my character. And I say that's the one thing that really gets to me. It would get to me the most when people try to, like, talk about my character or downplay my character. You know, I've had somebody say, like, you know, I've had somebody call me a loser before. Somebody told me I was a loser. I was like the first person performing, and some random bitch in the back gonna yell, "Oh, I know this dude's a loser." And I'm gonna be honest, a lot of people would have taken that personally, and that would have been it. You know, I have some friends, you know, they told me they've been through similar things like that, and it really discouraged them. I mean, one of my friends, he even said, like, he didn't want to perform after that, which is really, it's a shitty feeling as an artist. But for me, it was one person. I'm not going to let one person throw me off. I refuse to let one person throw me off course from my plans, my objective, my goal. They don't know. That person don't know a damn thing about me, calling me a loser. You calling me a loser off my appearance. You ain't even heard my music yet. And that's the thing. You got to realize, you know, as artists too, like, you're going to catch hate. You're going to catch flack. You know, people on the internet, they like to troll. They like to rage bait, because nowadays people do shit for an algorithm. You thought people used to do it for the gram back in the day? They doing shit for the algorithm now. They doing shit for engagement, because that type of shit, it'll get engagement. People, and I know this because it happened to me. It happened to me. I had posted one of my beats on TikTok, and just some random white boys just started laughing at my shit. And it's just like, I'll be honest, like, it wasn't the craziest beat, but it wasn't bad by all means. It might have been a little simple, but like, it wasn't, to me, it didn't seem that bad. But niggas got in the comments laughing at my shit. Somebody just said, "How are you even good?" And like, niggas was calling my shit trash. And it's just like, that had me fucked up, because I'm like, why are so many niggas laughing at this shit? I'm like, why? And it's just like, it was so random, because I would never get these type of comments before. I never would get these type of comments. And it just seemed like this shit all happened at once. Like, back to back to back to back. Just negative hate comments. Or or not hate comments, but negative comments in general. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Like, that had me fucked up. And it's just like, it had me fucked up because, like, that beat, it felt special. Although, albeit it was simple, the process of making it was special to me. It felt special to me. And for all them to shit on it, like, it just kind of felt like, damn, like, y'all shitting on a personal moment for me. So I deleted it. And I'll tell y'all, I wish I didn't delete it. I wish y'all could have saw those comments. I could have used them. I could have used that shit for content. That's what I regret. I should have used that shit for content. And that's my advice to anybody who's listening or watching this. If you ever get any negative hate comments, disrespectful comments, this and that, use it for content. People love that shit. People do love that shit. They love to see an underdog story, a come-up story. Me, I think of myself as the ultimate underdog. I'm like the ultimate underdog. I just feel like nobody expects me to be him. But I am. I am him. I just don't care to always show y'all. I just be chilling. I be doing my thing. But like Kendrick said, sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. Sometimes you might have to. But I would say my biggest thing when it's come to music is, it's definitely been confidence for me. It's been so many, I overthink my music. I'm low-key a perfectionist. I'm low-key a perfectionist when it comes to my music. I want to put out the best quality, the best possible song that I can. And, you know, I'll make something, I'll record something, I'll produce something, I'll listen to it at first, and I might like it. I might like what I'm hearing. It might sound good, and then I come to it a day later, a few days later, it's like, I'm not feeling it. You know, I listen to a song a few days later, I'm like, this message don't really hit as hard as it did on paper than it do with me rapping it or me getting in the studio. And sometimes, you know, I let songs sit for a while, and I just look at songs and I'm like, I don't really like this. I look at beats and I'm like, this really ain't all that. But then, and it's crazy because, you know, I have these confidence issues, but then like maybe a week later, you know, my motivation is up, my inspiration is up, and I'm listening to these same beats and I'm inspired, you know. Or months later, maybe even years later, I hear something and I'm like, hold up, I was on to something. And it's just like, really, it just comes, I feel like a lot of that is a discipline thing, you know. It really is a discipline thing. And it's just like, I mean, I'll be honest. It's like there are areas I can still work on. I'm not gonna act like I'm perfect, y'all. I'm not. I'm not. Nobody's perfect. We all got our flaws. We all have our things. We all have our pros and cons, you know, strengths and weaknesses. My thing is, I'll be honest, I feel like I'm not as confident because I get into modes and I don't make music as much. You know, I wait for the motivation to make music, and sometimes I can't do that. Now, some days I just wake up and that's what's on my mind. I'm like, I got an idea, like, let's get into the studio. I got a song in. I'll be sitting in my car. I got a song idea. Now I'm writing. Now I'm freestyling, listening to a beat over and over, trying to find a flow. I'm inspired. Now, I have days where it's just like I don't do anything. You know, I don't want to make music. I don't want to produce music. I might not even want to stream. And it's just like streaming really, and especially streaming, but sometimes it's like I don't want to feel like I'm too performative. I want things to be authentic. But at the same time, it's always said that you got to do things even when you're uncomfortable, even when you're not motivated, because that's what builds a discipline. You know, the more you do something in repetition, the easier it becomes. It just becomes muscle memory. And that's something, I'll be honest, that's something, you know, I'm trying to learn now. You know, although I may not make beats, I may not make a song every day, I make songs and beats often. It's with me often. It's the consistency that matters. It's really the consistency, and that's something that I'm trying to cling on to and hold on to, because consistency is what separates, you know, regular people from superstars. So that's really my thing. But as far as my dream goes, though, it's steps I need to take to reach my dream. I feel as though I'm taking those steps. You know, some days it doesn't look like I'm taking any steps, but every little thing I do, even videos like this, is what builds me further or gets me closer to my dream, to my goals, to where I can change lives, to where I can positively affect communities, to where I can give to those in need. That's what I want my music to be, a positive experience. I want people to listen to my music, they get a positive experience, and they walk away and they're inspired. They feel motivated. They feel creative. I want you to listen to my music and feel like you can take over the world. That's what I want out of my music. That's what I want. But I want to help the world. I want to be able to make an impact, a positive impact. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but that's all I want. That's what I want out of this music, you know, for all the quiet people, all the introverts, all the dreamers, you know, to believe in themselves. I want to be able to do that. And then further down the road, hell, like I was even talking, you know, I'm a teacher, I'm an educator, and I was thinking maybe I make a program to where I can have children, you know, kids from inner city schools, you know, if they need something to do in the summer, or even if they need something to do after school, they could come to my studio. They could come to my studio or my facility, whichever one, and I'll teach them how to make music. I'll teach you how to produce. I'll teach you how to write songs. I'll teach you how to record songs. Hell, I'll even bring in musicians to teach y'all how to play music. So y'all not out here on the streets doing something dangerous, doing something that could ruin your lives, you know, or get you killed, or get you or your friends killed. Like, I want to keep kids off the streets with my music. And if I can do that as an educator, I'm more than willing to do that, because our next generation, the next generation needs to, like, and this is just me, they need to know there's more to life than the bullshit that's out there. The streets ain't gonna love them. The streets ain't gonna love them like they think. And that's just me. I want to be able to guide the newer generation so that they can be great. I just want everybody to be great, you know, no matter what you do. Well, as long as it's, you know, legal and not ethically wrong. But yeah, I'm trying to change the world, make it a better place. Simple as that. And I hope y'all can appreciate that. I hope y'all can understand it. Hell, I hope some of y'all out there relate to that. I hope there are more people like me who want to change the world and make it a positive place for our children and our children's children, and just making the world a greater place, you know? Because I don't know, I feel like people do a lot of bullshit with music, but music can really change lives. You can really do a lot with music. So with that being said, this journey, it starts with my album. And we were 2 weeks away from it. 2 weeks. I'll let y'all know, like, I had to go back and forth a lot with my album, like, in these past few weeks. I've been going back and forth on it a lot. It was some songs I didn't sure if they really told my story or really sold my story. But then again, I've a lot of these songs I've had for like a while. I've been listening to them for months, so I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting tired of listening to my music and I just need something new. I don't know. But as for y'all, this shit is going to be fire. Like, I promise y'all, my album's gonna be fire. It's definitely different, you know. It's different from what I would say the typical Cleveland rapper makes. You know, I'm more of like in that emotional Kid Cudi lane, but I'm like Kid Cudi with a mixture of Wiz Khalifa and J. Cole. So it's like I can go all over the place, but I have like, this album is really about defining my sound, defining KT. That's what this album is about. It kind of goes into talking about my dreams, like songs One Day Famous on my album, big. If y'all know me and y'all already know about ODF, y'all should know that a song called One Day Famous is definitely going to be something heavy. It's definitely going to talk about, you know, the collective of people I'm working with. You know, just the fact that that's my tribe. You know, that's my tribe of people, and those are the group of people that I aspire to, you know, achieve greatness with. You know, it's almost like if one of us blows up, all of us blow up. We all win. And that's the thing. If I don't blow up, but Katana blows up, we win. If Naya blows up, we win. If Najair blows up, we all win. You know, I'm not selfish like that because I can play the role. I'm a producer. Hey, I produced for a hit artist, an award-winning artist. Sometimes it's just about playing your role and knowing how to play it. Not everybody has to be the top dog. No. But everybody can be a top dog. Everybody can be a leader in their own way. But when it comes to teams, everybody's got to be, you know, everybody's got to be working together. Everybody's got to be on the same page. But I digress. This album, it's going to be something. It's bringing y'all into my emotional world. And I'm really showing y'all more of that world. Because not that I haven't talked about in my music, but I've been trying to get more in depth. I'm really trying to show the world what I have to offer. So this is a start. But honestly, it's really just hard to get away from music for me, if I'm being honest. Like, are there times where I'm just like, I don't know about this music stuff. I don't know. Yeah, plenty of times. It's plenty of times, bro. But at the end of the day, I just keep listening to my music. I keep listening to the songs, and I just keep getting inspired. You know, I might not feel inspired today, but tomorrow, I sure as hell will feel inspired. Maybe not tomorrow. Maybe the day after. I'm going to feel inspired again eventually. Something will inspire me. You know, it's not even just music. I could just be outside at a beautiful place, and now all of a sudden I'm inspired. I could watch a movie. I hear one little thing, now I'm inspired. You know, you never know where you can get your inspiration from. So that's why, you know, my message with y'all, learn to keep patience. Keep patience and have gratitude with yourself. You never know. For some of us, it might only take us a couple months to achieve our dream. For us, some of us, it takes a couple years. Some people, maybe it takes decades of work before they finally reach that medium. All I'm saying is be patient and be grateful for what's came your way. You know, even if it isn't as much what you thought it would be, even if it isn't as much as you wanted it to be grateful that whatever you created, whether it's music, whether it's art, whether you are an athlete, You know, the way the athlete just the way you created your body. Your body is a sculpture, by the way, too. You have to craft that. You also have to craft your skills on the field, the skills you crafted, or even an entrepreneur, the business you've created, the network you've built. You have to give yourself credit for the things you do to build your dreams, because only you will understand what your dream means to you. Only you. And with that, this has been episode 5 of Who is KTGODUMB. I hope y'all enjoyed this second short episode in 2 weeks. I'm definitely trying to keep my episodes shorter because I'm gonna be honest, I don't think y'all want to hear me ramble on and on for an hour, and I tend to repeat myself sometimes. I think y'all want to hear a little bit more than me repeat myself for an hour. So I'm trying to keep things short, trying to keep things under 30 minutes. So that's episode 5. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all really listen to this and it really reminds y'all, you know, keep chasing your goal. It's okay to, I'm not going to say it's okay to doubt yourself. You shouldn't doubt yourself. Never doubt yourself. You're going to feel down. You're going to have bad days, you know. You might not make sales today. You might not feel inspired today. You might not have the best day at practice, or you just might not feel like you're going anywhere. Don't stop working. Don't stop believing in your dream. It is up to us to make our dreams reality. But it's up to us to make that dream a reality. So keep chasing your goal. Keep chasing your dream. No matter how crazy it is, no matter how wild or how unachievable it might sound, chase it. You never know. You never know what might happen. Especially if you keep taking those steps.
And the vibe too right.
Your dreams will
Phone on
find you.
D&D, I ain't checking the
Keep dreaming,
time.
y'all.
Feeling like
Keep
I'm
dreaming.
floating on a piece of my mind. Cruising through the city with the moonlight low. Got my windows down, let the whole world know. I ain't trying to stress, I just go with the flow. If you know, then you know, that's just how I roll. Keep floating. It's one of them nights where I'm feeling golden. Keep going. Life's too short, so just keep on coasting.